Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's the NFC Championship game.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 44. They needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. They'll try and run for it. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, they got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Yeah, here now come the Falcons. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down. From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. To throw from his end zone. Leach. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are one game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got. And that's a heck of a run right there.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal calls were never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
To throw on third down, Leach. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. To the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Touchdown, Giants! Malik Neighbors, 36 yards. And the Giants have struck first in this NFC title game. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got this down to the 35. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. They'll look to throw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Being chased, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brian Burns, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 3rd and goal here, a big play brewing in this NFC title game. And they'll run again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
But I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. On 1st and 10, Leach. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will stay a 4-point game. Atlanta regains possession of the football. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us? Let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Leach. He's got Bellinger. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Leach. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Throwing on first down. Leach. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And this play's still live. He faked the spike, going to throw it. And that is going to wind up. Complete, so they try to hit him with something you don't see too often, but it doesn't work out. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic, and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. To throw on second down. Leach. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Leach. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Leach. That one taken in by Neighbors. And now they're in the hurry-up. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Back to throw. Leach. He's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants are able to stretch out their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Falcons now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner...
Oh, right on the heels of the pick 6, another ball intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And they're going to speed things up here. Looking to throw. Leach. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab.
And the Giants continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like the Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On second down, they'll run it here.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple. They'll drop to throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. One quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down and 4.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. And this offense on third down today, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go on fourth down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4 down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 92 yards rushing for him now as he tries to will his guys into the Super Bowl. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback. Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Leach. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their 4th quarter lead. So an important touchdown right there as now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. He finds his rookie wideout from Tennessee. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here. It's complete. So nothing doing there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Taken down at the 30. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They need 2. Here's third down. Back to throw. Leach. Pass taken in by his big tight end. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Bellinger from 10 yards out. And the Giants up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And their backs really against the wall now, and we knew how tough it would be for them. You're coming on the road, NFC title game, crazy environment, and certainly just not looking good here in the fourth. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Now third down and very long. They're going to look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. The Giants are the champions of the NFC, as we say thanks for watching and good night. And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, will see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.